crazy to hear that there's still so much social stigma lingering behind sexual orientation and variety. Thank you, Jean, so much for that eye-opening conversation. Next up, we have someone who will be sharing something very personal, a memoir for a very special person in my life. We just give a warm welcome for Dyani Lee.
Hi, I'm Dyani Lee, and I'm going to be giving a speech to my grandmother. She passed away, so I didn't get a chance to tell her that I love her, and so I'm kind of using this as a way to tell her how much I love her. So, Dr. Seuss once said, sometimes you will never know the true value of something until it becomes a memory. In summer of 2012, I finally understood what he meant. My grandmother was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease when she was 62, and she suffered till the age of 77. She couldn't walk properly, so she'd have a wheelchair everywhere she went. Simple tasks like going to the bathroom, eating food, picking up a spoon, just feeding herself became a struggle. And her ability to speak gradually went from small conversations to broken sentences. Every day I died a little when I saw my grandmother struggle just to live, and her drive to live became even weaker when we found out that she had schizophrenia. And my family and I were devastated because schizophrenia is a disease that cannot be cured. It's a mental brain disorder. And even though there are medications to help relieve the symptoms, there are no cure. That would be like asking for a miracle. And with each and every passing day, my grandmother began to act differently. She wouldn't eat, she had no facial expressions, she wouldn't make eye contact with anybody, and she couldn't even say my name. Couldn't, wouldn't, I don't know, I never knew. And when my grandmother would instead say strange, disturbing things like, there's a girl outside our door, or there's an old man living in our bathroom. And I would remember asking God why she had to be like this, why she had to put my family through so much pain and stress, why she had to have this monster inside her. I didn't want her to struggle. I wanted her to live. I wanted her to be happy. She finally came to America for the first time, and she has to live through this. And life became hell for me every single day as I would give away my time just to watch her so that she would try to walk by herself or that she would do anything by herself to harm her. And I remember writing in my diary that I was so sick and tired of her being unable to do anything by herself, and I just wanted her to be somewhere else, just somewhere else, not in this house. And my wish finally came true when my grandmother told my mom that she wanted to go back to Vietnam. I never understood why she wanted to go back to Vietnam, but she just told her that I don't like America, I don't want to live here, I don't want to stay here, I want to go back. So we granted her wish and we took her back to Vietnam, and my life, I would say, kind of went back to normal. And I never understood why she wanted to go back. Like, why leave America for Vietnam? Like, the medications here is better, everything's kind of better, the food's better. That's just in my opinion though, but I never understood why she wanted to leave. But honestly, I didn't care why. I just wanted my life back. So when we brought back my grandmother to Vietnam, my mom and dad stopped stressing out about her. They stopped going home early. They had their sleep back. They stopped stressing out, and I was happy for them. And I was happy for my grandmother too because she wanted to be where she wanted to be. So she was where she wanted to be. And summer finally came around, and it was my oldest sister's birthday. We did the usual. We sang happy birthday to her, punched her 18 times. We sang happy birthday, and we showed her her gift, and we ate probably the most delicious cake I've ever had in my life. It was the most airiest cake, frosted with light whipped cream and topped with almonds and fruits, and I loved it so much. I asked for seconds and thirds afterwards. But as I had just dug into my second piece of cake, my mother's phone rang. And it was from my family in Vietnam, telling me that my grandmother had just died in her sleep. The cake suddenly didn't taste that good anymore. My mom went upstairs, and my dad followed after. My uncle, he ran to the bathroom, and my sister, she ran to her room. And I sat there, and I didn't know what to do. Because the first thing that came to my mind was, why didn't I tell her I loved her? Why didn't I tell her how much she meant to me, how much I loved her, how much I missed her, how much I wanted to talk to her, and I just couldn't do any of that anymore. And why did I have to treat her so horribly? Like, why didn't I show her and treat her with love? And I remember praying and wishing to God that if I could just rewind time, if I could just talk to her once more and just look at her face and hold her hand and tell her how much I love her, I would do it. Even if that meant reliving through the hard times I faced at school and my family problems I had back at home, if I had to do live through all that, I would do it again just for her. And my life changed for worse as regret and remorse held me back from true happiness, because I will never be able to be free from this cage that my heart is in, because I will always regret every single day me not telling her how much I love her. But my life, I would say, also changed for better because I finally realized the true meaning of how valuable a person can be. And I finally know the true meaning of love and how to show it and how to let them know. Memory or not, I learned something from my grandmother's death, and I hope you guys do too. So tell your family and friends how much you love them, how much you care for them, because once they're gone, they're gone. And that's it. And I just want to tell my grandmother that I love her, and I miss her, and that eventually one day we will meet again. It's not now, but soon.